place, the grower does something that is a default. What do you do as the owner of the pigs? Most often, you want to work with that grower, get that corrected. 9 times out of 10, that takes care of it. But if not, the rules then, let me back up. Most contracts I've ever reviewed and or written have then, if there's a default, you provide a written notice to the grower saying you didn't do something you were supposed to. Here's the written notice, and you have so many days to correct it. 30 days is common, 60 days, 10 days sometimes. Whatever that time period is, the rules will now look at to whether that time period is reasonable. The first bullet point there on slide 12 is what I think we want to focus on. Was the grower provided, one of the things we'll focus on, was the grower provided written notice of the breach upon initial discovery of the breach? Circle that one, because I think, and we make comments, we being the association and others, that I think this could have unintended consequences to the detriment of the grower. What do the owners of pigs often want to, as I said, work with the grower, work through it. Well, you don't provide that written notice of breach right away. You try and work with them, and then if over several months, if it is not correct, if they don't come around, then you provide a written notice of breach. This says one of the factors GIPSA will look at to determine if there's a violation of the law, if there's a breach that could lead to termination, is were they provided written notice upon initial discovery of the breach? Does this mean that you as an owner of pigs now can't work with the grower as much? You have to provide that written notice of breach upon initial discovery versus not providing it for a few months and trying to work with them? Could this be to the detriment of growers? I'd like to encourage you to still work with growers to correct breaches instead of sending out a legal notice of upon initial discovery of the breach. But the rule says what it says, and it is a factor that GIPSA may consider to determine if you're in violation.